Now I don't like sounding like a hater with these guys, but this is just, my analysis and watching the NBA for so long and seeing how these things go, seeing the mistakes teams have made in the past. So, that's just my take on it. But with the sixth pick, we got the Mavericks selecting Michael Porter. All right. Now this pick makes sense. I finally agree again with the scouts. All right. This pick makes sense. A little bit of risk here with Michael Porter, with the injury concerns and all that good stuff. But I like the fact that he came back and played. I disagree with the fact. I disagree with the fact that he came back. He did not have to come back. I thought he had more to lose by coming back and playing. With these scouts, I don't think you let them see as little as possible. To me, when you're considered to be a top 3 pick, I think you don't I don't feel like he had to go out. He didn't have to go out. But that was his decision. But I do commend him for that though. You know, taking that risk, taking that chance. But I like this pick. I like this pick by Dallas if they do take him. Then this means they'll have Dennis Smith at the 1, Wes Matthews at the 2, Michael Porter at the 3, and Harrison Barnes at the 4. I like that. I do like that a lot. You know, Michael Porter, I've heard some compare him to Kevin Durant. I don't like that. Just go watch the highlights. That's not a. I mean, now if he does become that, I will be surprised. But he is no Kevin Durant. He's just Kevin Durant. He scored. He was a bucket getter. He just scored with so much more ease than I feel like Michael Porter does. Michael Porter is athletic, does have a good stroke. I do like him that 6'10" frame and being able to do what he does. Very versatile. I see him being more like a Rudy Gay when he was in Memphis. Kind of like that 20-point scorer. I don't know if he's gonna be just a straight bucket getter, like 25 a game, 30 a game. I don't know about that. If he does, now I would like to see that. That would be cool if he does that now. But if I'm just that's just my projection. I see like Rudy Gay, or to a lesser degree, maybe a guy I'm not even gonna do him like that. I don't even want to say that. But let's just say Rudy Gay is what I see him kind of being. Even the teammate that they project him going with, Harrison Barnes, I do like Michael Porter a lot though. I do. I really do. But that's a good pick, I think, by Dallas. Now with the 7th pick, we've got Sacramento taking Wendell Carter Jr. out of Duke, 6'10", listed at 259, out of Atlanta, Georgia. All right, he averaged 13 points, 9 boards, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 57% shooting from the field, and 44% shooting from 3. And also a good free throw shooting big man, 74% from the line. That's also impressive. Good shooting percentages there. 3-point percentage doesn't always translate to the NBA, but I do like that at the college level for a big man. All right. I think what I like most about this guy is that he defended the opposing team's best big man. The best post scorer, he was the one on him. I think that was to let Marvin Bagley focus more on offense. But that speaks volumes, because he was also highly recruited out of college. And for him to take that role, say, hey, look, I'll play the defense, and for him to accept that role, I really did. I really think that's a good quality. Means he can play in the system. All right, I saw a good post play from him on the offensive end. He had a good stroke from 3. I saw some turnaround jumpers from him. Good rebounding. Good shot blocking numbers. I think that's a good pick for Sacramento. And we didn't get to see everything he could do on offense because he was playing beside Marvin Bagley. And even when Marvin Bagley went down with his injury, you saw this kid step up. So that's big. They were missing the other star, the main star, and you step up. That's big. So I like that pick for Sacramento. Even though me personally, I think I would go with, like I said, Trae Young if he's available, or even Colin Sexton if he's available. Because I'm just big on point guards, but I understand with these GMs of taking a big man and busting, you'll be given a pass. But if you take a guard and you bust, that's really bad. worth firing. So it all depends on the GMs here and whether they have room to make mistakes. So, but I do like that pick still, but I would rather take either of those two. Now here's where it starts to make sense. Number 8, they got the Chicago Bulls taking Trae Young out of Oklahoma, 6'2", 180, averaged 27 points per game, just under 4 rebounds, 8.7 assists, 42% field goal shooting, 36% from 3, 86% from the line. Trae Young. Now, a lot to be said about Trae Young. Scouts have knocked him for a small frame, you know, says, hey, he takes bad shots. They like to talk about his shot selection and all that, but I just think that's just scouts trying to poke holes at this guy's game. They don't take into account the teammates that are around him. In the NBA, he's going to have much better teammates, much more athletic teammates. You know, I don't see how you ignore 27 and 8. You cannot ignore that. You just can't ignore those numbers. If you need a point guard, I think you take a point guard unless it is just clear. Like DeAndre Ayton, I don't care if Phoenix or whoever needs a point guard. If he's on the board, you take him. You take the best available, but when you're not sure, go ahead and take a point guard. And Trae Young, while I don't agree with the Steph Curry comparisons. He Steph Curry like, but he is I just don't, now if he had stayed in college longer we could have seen, but I just don't see it there with Steph Curry. Steph Curry has more of a fluid jump shot. His shot is more of a set shot. It's still a jump shot, but it's more he has to kind of set up with it. That's all he can modify that when he gets to the league. I think he'll be fine. I like I haven't heard this yet, but a lot of people a lot of people don't know Mark Price, but I like that comparison. Mark, maybe a little bit more athletic version of Mark Price. That's You look at Mark Price. Go watch the videos. Go watch tape. A lot of younger fans who don't know who Mark Price is. Mark Price was Steve Nash like, and Trae Young is Steve Nash like. Good passer, very good ball handler. Great passer, very good ball handler. I like this kid a lot, and I think he can do a lot in Chicago. But you got the kid there, Chris Dunn. You do have Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn, I do like him as well. I think he's made a lot of strides this year. You couldn't really see what he did in Minnesota, but he really showed out this season. I don't know how Chicago's going to go this route, but they have options. Some draft boards have him taking Colin Sexton with the number 8 pick. But you have a point guard. If you feel like one of these guys is going to be better, then you draft them. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting draft, and another and an interesting draft for Chicago. So we'll just have to see what happens. At number 9, we have the New York Knicks taking Colin Sexton out of Alabama. 6'3", 190, average 19 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 45% shooting from the field, 34% shooting from downtown, 78% from the free throw line. Now, Colin Sexton, the young bull. Just a little side note on him. What I like about this guy most, he was not recruited, did not have any kind of play his junior season. Not recruited at all. Worked hard that summer. I think that summer, the summer before his senior year, and really, he really put in work and really shined, and had a breakout senior year, and of course another nice year at Alabama. And you really have to look out for guys like that, guys that have faced that kind of adversity. His NBA dream did not come into reality until his senior year. And that's something you have to take into account. But with him, you have a very strong guy. Comparisons to Russell Westbrook are warranted. You can see that fire in his eyes when he plays. He plays both ends of the floor. I would like to see the assist numbers get better. He did have decent teammates, so I can't say he had bad teammates. So, the assist numbers probably could get a little better. His form needs a little bit of modification, but he has a good 3-point shot. But that's just his shot. I think it could be a little bit quicker. But I do like the Russell Westbrook comparisons. Because he just has that fire. With him and Trey Young, they're gonna be compared for years to come. We're just gonna have to see who wins out. But I like both of them. I do like both of them. And with both these guys, it's important to know. It's like so many teams need them. And it's like on these draft boards, seven teams that needed point guards passed on point guards. And you remember that with Steph Curry. We all remember in '09, Steph Curry, Ricky Rubio, and Johnny Flynn were drafted above him. They were drafted before him. Hasheem Thabeet drafted before him. And it's like you just can't ignore certain things. It's just something about the eye test that you cannot ignore. If you have a gut feeling, I think you have to take it. No, it all comes down to the GM, but we will see. We will see. But I like this pick. If New York gets this pick, it's something they should have been done. They should have they could have gotten Steph Curry that year, but they passed on him. They could have gotten Dennis Smith Jr. last year. They passed on him. I hope the Knicks make the right decision. Good pick though if they do take him. Now, of course, these franchises aren't expecting these guys to come in and immediately be Superman. They're not just gonna come in and save the day right away. They have to have room to grow. With these drafts, we all know the draft is just GMs making educated guesses. All right, and these guesses are harder because these guys are 19 years old. They're freshmen. Back in the day when guys stayed 3-4 years in school, we knew what we were getting, but now we just don't know. So we have to take that into account. But with the 10th pick, we've got Philadelphia. Excuse me, no, that's Charlotte. Charlotte making the 10th pick, and it's got them taking Kevin Knox out of Kentucky. Kevin Knox, I think he could be a sleeper in this draft. I've heard comparisons to Brandon Ingram. I think that's way off. He's like 26. He's almost 30 pounds heavier than Brandon Ingram. He's stronger. All right. This kid, he's really athletic. And one of the shots I like that he takes down the lane is that floater. That little in-between game, you really don't see it anymore. But for a guy 6'9" to be hitting floaters the way he does, just go watch his highlights. Hitting those floaters, that just shows good fundamentals. I like the jump shot, decent three-point shooter, very good athleticism, can run the floor, 6'9". 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan, so good defensive potential there with him. Could definitely be a sleeper. Now his stock is rising because, his team, is going deep in the tournament, so his stock that causes your stock to rise, and scouts get to see more of you, and if you play well, it helps you. If you play bad, it hurts you. So, and he's playing well. I like this. I like the pick a lot. I really do. Best case scenario for me, maybe a Richard Jefferson in his prime. If you go back, watch Richard Jefferson highlights, he averaged 22, 25 a game. Maybe like a Caron Butler kind of player. Good two-way potential, great two-way potential. He did average 15 points and 5 boards, so that's really good. Good numbers for him, and I believe 37% from three-point range. I think this kid has superstar potential. I do believe that. Star potential, I should say. To what degree, we don't know yet. We just got to see.